Buddhist teacher. Serious mind is always exhausted, but play mind always has energy. I love that. So let me share with you, I could go on, and I have in other classes, but I just want to put out there 3 important markers about play. The activity of play, whether it's children playing, adults playing, whether it's serious play, because sometimes, like in sports, it's serious, sometimes it's dark, and sometimes it's fun and light. There's a stereotype of play as being frivolous and having levity, but some forms of play are very serious and some are very dark. That's why I included poems about grief in today's document, as well as kind of ridiculous light play. But the first point that I want to share is that most play has to do with renegotiating rules or boundaries. And so that's why a lot of us enjoy it and find excitement and get energy from it, is that we're letting go of rules and boundaries and identities and venturing into the unknown, or we're changing the rules to hold a different game than we conventionally or habitually fall into. So it's like, let's play a different game, or let's play what's called an infinite game, where there are no rules and it's just about complete exploration. But play has an element of danger and risk because of that shift in rules and boundaries. So it's enlivening, but sometimes it can also be scary, and it can also create injury, we could say. So it's kind of, I think writing and art is a great way to play with play, because we can suspend ordinary life and see where it takes us without feeling like the consequences are too serious, like when we're playing in real life outside of art. Does that all make sense and land in your experience? Yeah. So it's even fun just for a day to be like, what's a rule that I like habitually fall into that I don't want to follow today, or that I want to replace with something different? So the second piece about play that I want to name is that it often includes this quality of feeling ridiculous, or feeling a willingness to fail, or to take a risk, or to feel exposed, or to feel awkward. And so maybe that's why a lot of adults stop playing, because it can feel vulnerable. Would you relate to patterns as rules? In a certain way, yeah. Anything that's kind of riverbanks of our experience that sort of determine what territory we'll stay in versus explore into. So yeah, I would say patterns that we fall into, conditions in our minds that that determine how much we see, or what perspectives we see or don't see. So play has a lot to do with going into new territory. And any of you who are around kids a lot, like Kathy, I'm thinking of you with your grandkids and how much you play with them. Yeah, like deconstructing a sonnet, for sure. Yeah, that was playful. That was a form of play last week. Yeah. And then another aspect of play is that it has a lot to do with flow, or a word that came up a lot in my studies that I love this word, is autotelic. Auto means self, and telic has to do with purpose. So when we're playing, the purpose is in itself. The purpose of our activity is in the activity itself. So we forget about the future. There's usually no goal, unless you're in a game and the goal is to win, but you're still focused on the now. And sometimes you're so focused on winning that you become so focused on the now that you enter flow. So flow is a state where we forget about time, effort, and self. And that's really contributing to our wellness. That feels really good to be absorbed into something, into a game, into a new world, which we're going to play with a little later through a visualization. So when we're playing, the purpose is self-fulfilling. It's in the activity. It's just so fun or engaging or wholehearted or absorbing or requiring all of our attention, that's its own purpose. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so those are three kind of things about play, and now I want to just read a couple poems that I think transmit and invite us